Hey guys, how's it going? Kripp here. So some of you know I ended up dying on my Diablo 3 hardcore character a few days back. I didn't really plan on playing Diablo much anyway, and it was probably like, if not the last, maybe the second last time on stream that I was even planning on playing at all. But yeah, some bad stuff happened. I'll show you guys here the death, and you guys enjoy my misery a little bit. This is one of those times. So check it out, and I'll be back for a lot more goodness.
It is not ready yet.
Oh shit. Alt F4.
That's actually
I don't know what happened, but fucking yeah.
So,
You're dead.
Really?
oh shit.
I don't know.
You had no life when you left, so
Oh my god, did I really die?
Did
I
you?
couldn't do anything. I stand
Well, I guess I
right
died.
by you and pressed for.
You are?
Yeah, I had a lot of mobs near me. Did you not even lag out?
I
No.
did.
Wow. Killed off.
Mm-mm.
Uh-uh.
Reap!
Rip.
On the bright side,
Wow. There you go, guys.
reaped before
rip.
me.
Oh, come on. That's a really shitty way to die.
Yeah, I did.
Did you
I'm
DC
sorry.
as well?
No, I was like, I didn't lag or anything. I was okay. I just logged alt F4 because you told me to.
Oh.
And I know I didn't lag because I was picking up items from down.
That doesn't make any sense though. We're on the same connection. I actually lagged out. Oh, you're gonna... No, the microphone.
So as you can tell, it was basically completely unfair. My character at the time was almost invincible. When I would play solo, of course, with Unity, and I'd take half the damage as I did there, but still, I would literally just AFK in like 10 arcane beams, and when I felt like it, I'd just use the log out feature, 10 seconds out, and I'd never even really lose more than like 20% of my life. So what happened is, well, I was baiting in a lot of arcane beams, and I don't have that 50% damage reduction from Unity because it was a multiplayer game. And the really unfair part was that I was in that game for 20 seconds, and I was on the same connection as Rania, which you guys could see, that's my girl there. She was in that game, she didn't lag at all. We're on literally the same connection, so it's not the internet, it's not anything. Just for some reason, my specific character was like lagged out by the Battle.net servers, which makes no sense. And what also doesn't make sense is normally you disconnect, you're in the game at most for 10 seconds. Now it's actually a little bit short, a little bit more reasonable. Well, in my case, I was in there, I counted, for at least 20 seconds before my character was taken out of the game, which again makes no sense. So basically Blizzard assassinated my character. So what do we do? I just made another one. I had backup gear. I lost like 6% damage, but I actually gained like 10% toughness because my backup gear was mostly tankier gear. And I played a few more rounds. I got to 70 power level, then like 2 rifts, and it's super easy, and it's that. So that's basically Diablo 3 these days. Kind of missed my character. I was a bit down. Didn't really play Diablo on stream. Until I noticed the PTR was up. The PTR has all the goodness of the new patch, and I'll go over that stuff here, but show you guys the absolute best part of the PTR. And you guys will see it here in a second in the most glorious way, but basically on the PTR, it is no longer the case, but for a period of about a week or so since launch, ending I think about yesterday, there was a 2,000% increase to legendary drop rates. So you'd kill anything, you'd open any chest, you get legendary, legendary, legendary. And this is to test a lot of the new items that they added in the game. And I'll show you guys how that works with my monks and all that. You guys will see all that kind of cool stuff. So one thing I want to just go over real quick is it made me realize that, yeah, The game's a lot more fun when you just get all legendaries really quickly. Yep. Yeah, that's really everything. The version on the PTR that was up for about a week, where you just get all the items you want all the time, is the best version of Diablo 3 I've ever played. Especially now, because it's kind of fair. Like, yeah, you get 20 times as many legendaries, but you only care about ancients these days, so only 1 out of 10 can even have a chance to be good. So you really just have double legendary drop rate, but it just feels so good to identify and go through legendary and set items. And yeah, even if you don't get an ancient version, you still get like the cool effect of the legendary. So I think it's something they should really consider. I mean, now with ancients up, maybe you can make ancients more rare and increase the non-ancient drop rates to much more than what they are now. So anyway, check it out. Check out the drop rate and check out the cool video here, and after that I'll show you guys some of the interesting things that I've done on the PTR. I'll show you guys some new items, some new skills, and my possible new monk build and exploitary and that kind of stuff. Check it out. I think we might have a goblin rift. Yes, we do. I don't even know where the goblins are, dude. I can't see anything. There's like goblins up there or some shit. I don't fucking know. That is the most legendaries on one screen you're ever gonna see, guys. Where is he? Fucking A. Oh my god. How do we pick all this crap up? There's more goblins? God damn it, dude. Okay, guys. Okay. Alright, our inventory is mostly clear right now. Let's just go ahead and walk around. I don't think any of them escaped, by the way. I don't even know if we can click on all of these. There's just like too many. Okay, we got one here.
I can't carry anymore.
Alright. Alright, here we are. So first, the coolest part about the PTR is that it actually went off of your regular account when you copied your characters of a few days before the PTR had gone up, which just so coincidentally was before my character died. So I got to play my character that never died, and I had my gems leveled and all that kind of shit, and it was pretty sweet. So I farmed some legendaries and stuff on hardcore just because it's mostly where my stuff is, and yeah, I got some good ones. I went through and organized them. I tested a lot of builds, and I'll show you guys some of the changes here first, but then I'm going to go into some pretty cool monk build. It's mostly theory. I think if I went into a new season, I'd still play something similar to what I had been playing on hardcore. If you're curious what that is, well, that you guys can check out the last Diablo 3 video. But here we go. The changes in the next patch. So there's a lot of big things heading forth, and I want to just show you guys some of them. So most of them have to do with the ring slots in terms of gear. So they changed the bonus. So there's a focus restraint. They changed the set bonus to 2 pieces. Now all of your damage goes up to 150%. Based on how much primary resource you have. So if you have full primary resource, you can just spam like generator or something like that, and they do way more damage. And in certain cases, like some Crusader builds, that kind of stuff, it does a ridiculous amount of damage. This is a pretty good setup for Monk as well. However, if you use it for Monk, you can't use the other ring that I currently have equipped, and you also can't use Unity, and you can't use Ring of Royal Grandeur, which is kind of a big deal because they actually improved some other sets as well. So the other ring is the Ring of Broken Promises, and this one kind of sucked, but now it's really insane. After 5 consecutive non-critical hits, your chance to critical hit is now increased to 100%. And this is, in my opinion, the coolest item added to Diablo 3 probably ever. And what you can do with it is just remove all the crit off of your gear, and when you hit stuff, well, it procs instantly. The proc chances, the uptime is basically 100%. This item is ridiculously overpowered, and, well, you should use it on every character because, while, yes, you might do a little bit more damage with Restraint and Focus, because you don't have to actually stack crit, you're able to stack with a lot of other stats, like way more survivability, like attack speed, that kind of stuff. And that's probably why the stats you're seeing are unbelievably high. Well, because they are, except the damage, but the damage is a lot higher than that because the ring hasn't procced it, because I'm not hitting anything. So that's what's going on with that. Crazy rings. Speaking of crazy rings, they changed Obsidian Ring with Zodiac, which is notoriously the absolute shittiest ring ever on live, and on the PTR, reduce the remaining cooldowns of one of your skills by 1 second each time you spend a resource. So what you do is you'd spend a resource through mantras or something like that and keep your permanent invincibility. A lot of classes started doing this, so they're probably going to nerf them, as they said, and yeah, it's a cool item though. Might see some use. They also add another ring, the Arc Stone. So the special effect is lightning pulses periodically between the wearers of this item, dealing 1200 weapon damage. And that seems really cool, except it's not. It's actually terrible. It's really terrible. In fact, it's not even worth using. In fact, this ring sucks. Just forget about the ring. They added some more Sonwuko pieces. Sonwuko is the primary set that I use on live. It's the one that makes you blow up for a lot of damage and hammer time and all the cool stuff. They're adding a 6th set, and because of that they added 2 more items. They added the chest and the pants for Sonwuko, so those are pretty sweet. They haven't added the actual 6-piece, so that might be pretty incredible, but they did add another 6-piece. They added an Inna's 6-piece, and that one is Mystic Ally casts Cyclone Strike, Exploding Palm, Lash and Tail Kick, 7-sided Strike, and Wave of Light when you do, which sounds really awesome, and you can use the 6-piece Innas along with the 4-piece Sonwukos if you use Ring of Royal Grandeur, reducing the Siricron by 1. You can also use the Crudest Boots as well, but you would have to use Inna's weapon as a result. And if you have 2 allies, and your allies cast like the hammer when you cast the hammer, there's literally 3 hammers, and well, the Sonwuko bonus doesn't apply. So your hammers do 6 times the damage, but the hammers of your little followers just do regular damage. So basically it sucks. The damage that you gain from those extra hammers, you basically lose from using Inna's staff, because Inna's staff is really garbage compared to most other weapons in the game because it has no special effect and it's faster than most other weapons. So that part kind of sucks, but they also changed another set. They changed the Raiment of 1,000 Storms. They made it follow through Dashing Strike. You can make Dashing Strike builds, but those kind of suck. I've tried, they suck. The ones that don't suck is the 2-piece. So your Spirit Generators have 25% increased attack speed and 5% increased damage. This is a multiplier effect, so you multiply your attack speed by 1.25 and your damage by 6. So what's the best one to use here? So the best skill in the game for monks to use spammy is the Wave of 100 Fists of Fury. It doesn't look like it does that much damage, but a lot of testing has been gone through, and this does the most amount of damage, so trust me. Okay, this is the best attack you can use, and it actually has one of the highest proc rates of all skills in the game, and certainly so for monks. So a lot of people are using this type of build, and I wanted to show you guys my variation of it. Before I get into that, there's a very clear reason why Monk is going to be super good in hardcore. Well, they changed near-death experience. Near-death experience, instead of basically not cheating death and sucking ass, now actually gives you 2 seconds of immunity when you're supposed to die. So monks now have a cheat death just like every other class in the game, and you can play a monk on hardcore, and what happened to me earlier in the video, as you saw, will never happen to you if you have this, unless you're also gone for 20 seconds. That's pretty much total bullshit. Okay. So what's the build? What have I come up with? So I'm using Unity, and if you're in a group, you can use whatever ring you want. You can use an SOJ, you can use the, I don't know, Obsidian Ring, the Zodiac, you can even use a Ring of Royal Grandeur and get another Inna's piece, but I don't think it's really worth it. The idea is you use the Broken Promises. As you can see, my Unity is pretty terrible. Actually, having critical chance on your gear with this build makes it do less damage. So this Unity is beyond terrible, but it's like my other one's literally the same thing. Okay, it's actually the same thing. So I can't really make it work any better than that. So you use the 2-piece of the raiment. You got to use shoulders and gloves. Ideally, you want to use Inna's chest and belt, and they did modify the 2 sets, so instead of it, I forget what it does, some garbage, but now it does double the effect of your Mystic Allies and your Mantra, and if you have all 4, it doubles all 4, but you know, you can't really do that if you want all the damage, so you do use the Critus Boots because you basically want to quadruple the passive bonus of your Mystic Ally. And I have a pretty funky Mystic Ally. I have the Enduring Ally, so I'll explain that in a second. So that's the set pieces that you want. The off piece you want to use. Enduring, I think, is the best. You get it for holy damage. It's pretty hard to get a good one, but the chance on hit does do some damage because your chance to hit stuff proccing with your Way of 100 Fists is really, really high percentage. So that's really good. They made some new bracers. Your Spirit Generators reduce your damage taken by it's like 30 to 40%, I think, for 3 seconds. So this makes you take a lot less damage. And you got to use Depth Diggers, primary skills that generate results deal 93% additional damage. So this is basically going to make all your other additive damage bonuses really, really crappy. A lot of people, they're using the quadruple effect of the Fire Ally, which does 10% more damage. I have 2 of them, so it'd be 20% more damage, and I double the effect of the passive one, so it'd be 40% more damage. But because just by using these pants, I double the damage of my generator, which is the only part that does damage, well, it's only 20% more damage. So 20% more damage is pretty good, but you guys will see why I use these and why I think it's kind of worth it unless you're really needing some damage. So you spam some stuff. The rest of the skills, I use Cycle Strike Implosion just to group stuff up. Don't really need that, just whatever. Enduring Ally, Dashing Strike, you can use it with Cold for more dodge, but it's not really a big deal. Mastering with Cold is just kind of cool to have the chill effect, and of course the Mantra of Salvation Agility. So if you look at the other stats, my resists are basically at 2,000. My survivability is absolutely absurd. I have very low chance to crit. In fact, all the crit that I have is from this Unity, which I really want another one but can't get, and I have a ridiculous amount of crit damage. So a lot of people have used this build, and in the past a lot of Spirit Generator builds have been used with Flying Dragon, but because of the broken promises and the fact that you want very low crit chance and as much crit damage as you can get, through some testing, I have to say that using dual-wield weapons is at least as good as Flying Dragon. So I think it's actually better to use 2 weapons, specifically because of the passive that nobody even remembers because nobody gets this shit on softcore, but on hardcore it's pretty nice. That gives you 35% chance to dodge. So you can get 35% chance to dodge from that passive. You can get 40% dodge from your Dashing Strike, and you can get another 35% passive dodge from Agility with Mantra of Salvation. So basically what that means is you have a really, really, really high chance to dodge. So my chance to dodge right now is 57. If I Dashing Strike, my chance to dodge is basically 75%. So only 1 out of 4 attacks will hit me. And because I don't have to have crit chance on my gear, a lot of those stats are replaced by attack speed or life regeneration. So I'm making up some damage with attack speed, and I'm making up a lot of survivability with life regen. And this is why I have the Enduring Allies. The Enduring Allies give me almost 11,000 life regen each. The bonus is kind of bug. It doesn't really work. If they fix it, I'd probably have twice as much life regen as I do right now. So I have this bonus 4 times applied. I have life regen on my gear, and I'm using the Molten Wildebeest Gizzard Gem. So 50,000 life regeneration, and if I don't take damage for 4 seconds, I gain a shield for 200% of my total life per second. So my life per second, if we look at the healing tab here, is 150,000, so I have a shield of 300,000, and this shield basically updates itself. So if you don't take any damage and your shield is not depleted, like if let's say you actually take damage but it doesn't go past the shielded point, your shield basically just recharges again and again and again and again. And because you have like dodge and stuff, sometimes when you're even getting hit and don't have a shield, you're just dodging those attacks, and if it happens for a long enough period, you actually just refresh your shield randomly, even though you're in the middle of combat. So basically what happens is this build takes absolutely no damage. I was doing Greater Rift 40, and the monsters were not hitting me for anything. I was literally taking no damage. It was absolute face roll. It did kind of take a while because monsters have an unreasonable amount of life in Greater Rifts, but yeah, you can basically face tank anything. If you see, this is shown in the recovery stat. The recovery stat is 29 million right now, and this is not including the shield wall. So if I'm just spamming my attack here, which I can just do, that it's always going to be up. This is basically a passive. My recovery is 50 million, and this doesn't account for Unity. So if you account for Unity, my recovery is basically 100 million. So basically every second I'm gaining 100 million toughness. Basically I have to take more than 100 million damage in 1 second for my life to even go down, but it won't actually go down because I have a shield, and the shield is positive feedback based on how much toughness I have. So basically I never take any damage at all, and when I do, it's instantly recovered, and if I take lethal, I proc cheat death, and cheat death will actually increase my life per second, and my life per second is increased by the new potion, so I can get another 100,000 life per second when I use a pot, thus making a ridiculously big shield, thus taking even less damage than no damage. It's such little damage it fucking hit off the car alarm. Okay. So I'll just kill a few things here so you guys can see. I don't know. I mean, this is T6. T6 is a joke, as you guys know, so it's not really a big deal here. But you guys will see. My life is not going to move. I literally just hold left click, and you guys can see the uptime of the ring is basically 100% as long as I'm hitting stuff. I'm using the sweeping wind mostly to trigger the ring. If you just have a lot of targets, it basically triggers instantly when it goes down. So my stats for this character are roughly 300 million toughness, but my recovery makes it so I never take any damage, and my damage is ridiculously high because of the new set bonuses and because of the crit ring. So basically this build is pretty good for hardcore. Again, I tried this build with a two-hander. I tried this build with cold instead of holy because I thought it'd be like a little bit similar, but it's really not. This is the best way to do the build from my testing, and, well, it's cool. Diablo's pretty cool. This is the PTR again. We won't be seeing these changes probably for some months, and when we do, it'll be Season 3, and that's probably the next time I'll play Diablo. So I thought I should let you guys know, because if you guys expect me to play Diablo until then, well, I won't. But when that stuff comes out, I think it'll be awesome. So if you guys want to check it out then, if you guys want to check out the PTR in the meantime, you should. That's it for Diablo for a while, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the ride. I certainly have. And, well, I'll see you guys tomorrow.